This is Wednesday, July 15th, 2010, and I'm pleased to open the July meeting of the Radnor Township Design Review Board. I'm Tony Vincent, your chairman for the evening. This time, I'd also like to introduce my colleagues, architect Cynthia Ritz and Michael Giardino. Monitoring the meeting for the township is our Community Development Officer and Township Secretary, Matt Bauman. The session is televised and shown now and later during the month on Radnor Cablevision. Before we ask the first applicant to present, please make sure your cell phones are turned down. And the first applicant is DRB 10-12 Clear Wireless. This was continued from the June meeting. Is Clear Wireless here?
Yes.
Come on up, guys, and introduce yourselves.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Eric Goldberg. I'm the attorney. We also have Fran Green. He's a professional engineer. And Faraz is a radio frequency engineer.
Good.
And we're hoping this is a relatively simple application. Clearwire is a telecommunications company looking to locate on 800 Lancaster Avenue. They're looking to add a grand total of one antenna. It will be a half a foot in length, or half a foot diameter. It will be basically a parabolic dish antenna, looking to add it on the rooftop, which already contains several other existing antennas. Both Sprint and AT&T, I believe, are already up there and have their antennas up there. And like I said, you're adding a new pipe mount. This antenna, this parabolic dish, will extend about 2.5 feet higher than some of the other antennas on it, and that is really it. No other antennas are being requested.
Michael, what are your thoughts?
What color is the antenna going to be? Did you mention that?
Yeah, I don't think any color was proposed, but if there's a specific color, I mean.
Do they come in color?
It can certainly match whatever's up there, if that's the concern.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah,
It'll match the existing antennas.
yes.
And it can be painted out, so to speak. It always looks better.
Paint it clear.
Yeah, clear, transparent.
The invisible
You know, I think
shield.
they're just part of the lifestyle that we have today, and
They're part of the landscape
unfortunately,
today.
we have to have them, so. The way you positioned it, it's perfectly sensible.
Eric, I have a question. Can you
Sure.
tell me what's the maximum height? I see you're increasing it according to sheet 3. You're increasing the height a little bit. What's the maximum height there? Do you know?
I believe the center line height's about 79 feet.
So you're still under the one.
About 80.
It would be probably a little bit under 80, but I mean,
All right.
say 80.
Yeah, all right. As long as we're under 120, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
the issue is whether it's 80 or 79 and a half, but yeah.
How far is this located from the street, and is it, how
Visible?
visible is it?
I mean, it's on the back corner back here, so it would,
We have that plan, don't we, in ours?
yeah, this is a S1 is for the sheet.
Oh, yeah. Can you see it from the street?
I mean, driving up from where the stadium is here,
Mhm.
you can currently see, I mean, it wouldn't be
Yeah.
any more noticeable than what's already there.
Okay.
So,
Well, I don't see it to
Makes
be a
sense to me,
problem if
no.
it's conforming with Matt Bauman and the township. Matt, are we okay?
Everything meets code.
Great.
I'll make a
All right,
motion
Michael.
then that DRB 10-12 for Clear Wireless, located at 800 East Lancaster in Villanova, for the addition of one radio antenna as submitted, be approved.
A second.
All in agreement?
Aye.
DRB 10-12, Clear Wireless, is approved as submitted. Thanks,
Great.
gents.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Have a good night.
Good. The next applicant is DRB 10-22, Costazinos. Come on up, gentlemen, and tell us what you plan to do.
Look what I have.
My name's Kent Purdy. I'm with Miller Purdy Architects.
Good.
We prepared the documents for Costas Casinos on his property here at 815 and 817 East Lancaster Avenue.
Could I ask you to turn those?
Yeah,
Sure.
give them a 180 so we can, no,
No, one, little
another
one more.
90, there we go.
Oh, that's good.
All right. We're here to present just the finish changes on the facade of this existing building. One of the reasons we're doing this piecemeal, you had the question earlier about the sign. We're not submitting that at this time. That will be submitted as part of the tenant fit-out plans at a later date. But right now, to accommodate all the work, the renovation work on the inside, we have to start removing the facade and removing the storefront to correct some of the structural issues on the interior, and that's one of the reasons we're here looking at this now.
Tell us a little bit about the structural issues.
The building used to be a laundry, and there was a lot of water damage on the interior, both at the roof level from neglect, but at the floor level with a lot of damage and rot of the existing floor joists that are there. We are replacing nearly 75 to 85% of the floor joists that are in the building.
Is there a basement?
There is a basement, yes. So in doing that, there's a large wood frame beam underneath the storefront that has begun to sag, and we need to replace that. So in order to do that, we need to remove the storefront. And when we brought this in front of Matt Bauman, they directed us to come here because we're getting into the facade changes. As part of this, we are replacing the storefront almost in kind with an anodized aluminum storefront framing system and clear glazing. And then the canopy will be also structurally modified. There are some damaged, there's some damaged roof deck up there that will be replaced on top of the existing steel structure. And then new roofing will be applied on top of that. In doing this, we are removing the existing awning that is shown in the photos out front. That will come off, and new fascias and soffits will be applied. And we're looking at a metal panel product to complete that renovation. I have a sample if you want to see that.
That's for the fascia and the rest of the awning?
Yes.
Sure.
Just as far as the color, it's just your basic.
Goes, it matches, I mean, it complements the brick.
Yes.
Do you want to see this? Is this the part, when you're saying the awning, you mean the curved part is going to come off, right?
Correct.
And then you'll recover it with this.
We'll recover it with that, correct.
On your sheet A2, where is the curved awning indicated? I'm not seeing that.
On sheet A2, I don't believe we showed it
In the
on
photo,
there.
look
It's
in
in
the
the
photo.
photos on the next sheet.
That's the existing, that's coming on.
Yeah, that's
That's
coming
coming
off,
off.
yeah.
So, am I correct if you're not putting it back?
Correct.
So you're gonna have a flat fascia,
Yes,
and then this sign is not part of the application.
correct.
I do see that you say you're going to refinish that sign, the 6 by 16 foot, and even though it's not in the application tonight, if you keep that dimension, it will exceed, I believe, exceed the code. Is that-
And
Which is 50
Code
square feet.
would be 50 square feet for you, for
Right,
this
Matt?
building. Isn't that right, Matt? Even though we're not addressing the sign tonight,
Right, but
I thought it'd be fair to say if you're.
That's a great point, and just for the record, on sheet A20, I just want to make clear here that, there's some indications, so just so we're not confused months down the road when this comes back, the applicant,
Right.
the actual tenant, it says refinish existing sign box. The sign's 96 square feet, it's grandfathered in, but anytime you touch a sign, it's got to be conforming to our new zoning code, so. And I'll just for the record, I'd like to make note of that, and just so there's no confusion. And somebody said, well, it says here we're allowed to do it, but.
Right, and I think one of the things we had touched on previously was that if we put any text back up there, that has to stay you know, at the maximum, I believe it's 15 feet
Yeah.
to the top, you know, it will conform to all that.
And this is an interesting, that overhang there, and, you know, technically, our signs, they're not allowed to go on a roof. And I mean, we can get into, you know,
Yeah,
I've
that's the
seen this
next
before,
problem,
is this
that it's
considered a roof, is this not a roof? It's an overhang, but,
You can put the sign on the building.
you can go on the building, or you can go where on the overhang itself, it looks like it's, you
Well,
know,
that's what I was gonna suggest is, have you thought of taking this new flat fascia and making it deeper so the sign band can be in the fascia?
exactly.
No, what we were looking at, you know, trying to hold to, you know, a budget is maintaining the sign, but the graphics within that sign box would be reduced to meet your sign ordinance.
The
I don't
box
think
is
you'd be
too
allowed to
big.
keep the box.
Yeah, you
You
can't,
can't keep the box,
You
and the
can't-
box is too big.
it's gotta be.
And the
it's
letters
got-
are too big.
But he's willing to
And-
address the letters, it's just that the box is too
The box
big.
has to go.
Yeah,
If
so
you
the
alter,
box-
if you touch that at all and get into, it's all gotta conform. So I'd recommend, you know, you better start planning ahead now for, you know, when the new tenant comes in, just to, you know, keep that in mind, that you'll have to prepare for that, for something new to go in there, okay?
So you could,
Okay.
I guess the choice is, you could integrate it into the fascia that's pushed forward,
Okay,
which would imply, at least to me, that would become deeper.
yes.
Or put lettering on the brick.
Or you could put it directly on the brick, as long as it doesn't exceed 15 feet off of the ground. Then people driving by are gonna have the view of it somewhat cut off if they're sitting in a car. So there's a trade-off there.
Right, and that, another reason why we wanted to try and maintain at the current location, but we'll step back and take a second look at that when we bring that back.
When I look at this side elevation, how deep is that fascia? When, like, the front of the building, there's the fascia around there. I'm looking at, maybe I'm not reading it correctly, new fascia at existing canopy, and then there's another piece below that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, the existing fascia, it has two depths to it. You
Okay.
don't see it because the awning's in front of it.
Oh, okay.
We are going to be capturing the full depth, the structure and the fascia, so I believe it's about
Is that gonna be?
16 inches deep.
Yeah, so that would be a great, since we're not gonna let you put letters up larger than, what are our largest, what size letter would we allow on that building?
Maybe like 8 inches.
There really isn't, there's nothing in the zoning code other than awning letters, which can't exceed, I believe it's more than 7 inches, no, 8
Oh.
inches.
6, 8
Okay,
inches.
that's kind of small maybe for that.
For an awning,
for the-
but
for an
that's,
awning.
that's an awning.
I
A
would
wall,
think the
wall
well,
sign,
this would be
Would the
12,
fascia
14.
count as the fascia of that, that's an awning, isn't it, the overhang there?
Well, it depends
no,
on-
no, an awning truly is an awning at a.
Okay,
you know.
so could they put their sign on that fascia?
I've had no problem with that, you know,
Okay.
and then it's been up to the board to really determine the visibility from the street based on letter height. You know, so sometimes it's larger if it's set way back. In this case, it's essentially right near the pike.
Yeah, so it wouldn't, the lettering wouldn't be allowed to be, I don't know, I'm just gonna throw out there like
Okay,
10?
do you get the idea?
We have the understanding.
Okay.
We'll
good.
bring that back.
Okay,
Okay.
so I just wanted to make sure you
Right.
didn't want you to work
Right,
on
let's-
that sign.
All right, let's go back to let's go back to the front of the existing building. I see a lot of conduit. I see a lot of, it looks like plastic PVC pipe. What's that all about?
On the right-hand side,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the existing. The conduit would be painted, for the electrical, would be painted to match the brick, okay? The,
What's that big PVC pipe? Looks like a
big
drain.
PVC was a rainwater conductor.
Yeah, it looks like a drain for the,
We are modifying the roof, and all the water will be coming off the other side of the building,
Oh, great.
okay? And we have, you know, new drains coming down
Mhm.
and tying in there, so that drain pipe will disappear on that side of the building.
It looks like there's 2 electric services there, is that right?
Yes.
What's the condition of the brick like? Will it require,
The brick does need some repair,
Mhm.
especially, I believe it's above the height, it's just above the height of the canopy. There was some water intrusion there, and that's being addressed,
do you plan to repoint it or power wash it or clean it or paint it? or-
repointing as needed.
Mhm. All right. What's the shape of the storefront itself?
The existing storefront is in poor shape.
Mhm.
That has actually deflected with the floor,
oh,
and, you know, so there's gaps between the glass and the frame in some spots, so, you know, that is all coming out.
So do you have to put new glass?
We have to put new
I
glass.
saw the glaze, reglazing. Nice.
Yeah, as an
Nice.
architect, I think if you take a look at this and take out some of the homemade looking things that are really not attractive and try to make it a little more, it looks very dated. Looks like 1947 strip mall.
But the rendering looks kind of retro, and I like that. Is there lighting under that, under the,
Yes, we are putting in new lighting
Mhm.
underneath the canopy.
okay?
What's the canopy roof gonna be?
That's going to be the metal
That's
panel
this. Do you
on the
wanna pass
soffit
that down
you're
to
talking
Michael?
about. That'll be the metal panel as well.
So the whole thing will be that, right? The whole
Yes.
thing's wrapped in that, and then you're gonna have 3 or more, it looks like 3 are there now, light,
Can I go back to this? The underside of the canopy is this material as well as the fascia wrap?
Right.
And when it's on the underside, is it ribbed or?
No, it's not ribbed. It's, you know, it'll be folded into a panel and then mounted to the underside of the structure.
So how wide are the panels gonna be?
The panels, I believe we showed them on with the lighting plan that's attached to that set.
Oh, I see, those are seams in the panel?
There are seams in the panels.
And the back of the building, is that gonna be retained or is it still?
Back of the building is stucco right now. We are taking off a lot of the existing stucco, repairing the wall that's there now and putting in new stucco. And we have a couple of existing windows where we're putting in the new, and then also the, replacing the rear door.
Matt, is this one owner for that whole strip, or is it broken up into?
No, there's a couple of owners.
so
Several
Wingers
owners.
is not, is it Wingers is not owned? That's you, right?
We bought it.
Oh, okay. Did you come before us recently?
Yes, as you were talking about the sign,
Yeah.
I had to, vote.
Good.
When we talked about that.
Yeah, when are we getting rid of the?
Now, what about the pink building next door? That's not yours?
That's not ours.
Okay.
He's a tenant in that building.
Yeah, we're tenant of Wingers and we bought this location.
I see. Now, you're gonna bring us a really good Greek restaurant? Come on, you can do it.
You're gonna be the first
We
person?
need one.
Yes, we do.
Kala kala.
All right. Okay, so what else do we have to consider?
I think, I'd like to see some improvement in that back alley. It looks like a back street in Macau where sailors get rolled. You know, is there any way to clean that up a little bit?
We are, you know, besides cleaning up the facade, you know, we're adding a couple bollards on the backside to help protect people at that corner,
Mhm.
coming out of that door. The parking back there will be restriped,
Is that a drain pipe coming out of the, next to the door there?
yes.
And then where's the drain, the pipe gonna be for the, whatever comes off the roof? On the side alley or in the, on the side of the
The
building?
one on the back,
Mhm.
coming off the roof,
Yeah.
that'll come off and then drain on the surface towards that side
Uh-huh.
alley. And then the one out front, that actually gets drained directly into the storm below the surface.
Where's the storm?
There's a stormwater line that's added in there right along the wall of that alley there.
Oh, along this sidewall right here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
And it only comes up to the front facade of the building.
That's where you can see the pavement change.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the paving should be properly striped in front of the building.
Yes.
Can I just say something? Excuse me?
Sure.
The back, the alley in the back and the side there, it seems to be like a right of way, and there's an issue there with when it snows, when there's ice. It's like, you have all these people that are involved, I don't know, I mean, we clean as much as we can in the back
Yeah.
for our safety and our customers.
Sure.
But it bends around and it's on the other side as well, and it's kind of like, it's almost like a free-for-all there. And I don't know who's responsible for what. And to answer your question about the back alley, which you're absolutely right, it's like, it needs repaving, but nobody seems to be addressing it, so,
I mean, it looks scary back there.
yeah.
Once you redo the stucco, it's gonna look a lot better. Well, clean up. It's that stucco that's making you feel that way.
I mean, it's such a prominent location, and it's too bad it can't be organized art those buildings can all be organized architecturally in some way. Any way we can think about that? What do you think?
I'm looking for an investor, we can talk after this.
Okay.
You get your Greek restaurant, you get it all done there tonight.
Great, a little nice little situation there, you're absolutely right. I don't agree with you.
It'd be nice, but we're really here just to consider.
See, the other building where that's not attached to the X group has a pediment, then you have a pediment on, where, is it Wingers?
Yes.
But then you have a flat roof here, and then you have this canopy. It looks a little disorganized, Michael, you know what I mean?
It's separate ownership does way, right?
Yeah.
You know, this building, it looks to me like at one time, this was kind of a sharp-looking Art Deco kind of
Mhm.
building.
Yeah,
It's got a little
when?
pattern, right? I don't know, when it got the, I mean, I don't think the canopy was originally part of this thing.
Doesn't look like it.
It's hard to tell, but I don't believe so.
Yeah.
No, I'm betting not. Doesn't look like it belongs.
All
Well,
right.
can we,
We have to ask you to come back, so, and when you come back, you'll be organized, right?
Come back.
wait, why does he have to come back? Today, we're just approving
Oh, okay.
the facade. We're not doing anything with signs. When you come back, just don't bring that sign back. But
Understood.
today, we're talking about facade, the
Correct.
awning.
Right. I mean, one of the reasons for today is we need to get the work going on the core and shell
Yeah.
to allow us to get tenants into the building, to see the building.
Mhm.
I mean, right now, they're not permitted in the building, so
Yeah, you gotta fix it up.
we have to fix it up.
So you need to remove so today is the glass, the new aluminum
Canopy,
canopy, and the framing around the glass,
yes.
and that's
That's
pretty much it.
Yes.
So,
All
what
right,
do you
let me try this.
good.
All right, Michael.
I move that DRB 10-22 for Costas Zinos at 815 to 817 East Lancaster Avenue in Villanova be approved for the following work items. Generally, facade improvements, including new storefront, demolition and repair and reconstruction of the canopy portion of the building as presented, with the flexibility that the applicant may increase the height of the fascia above the 16 inches shown here to as much as, let's say, 20 inches without returning to the board if he chooses to do so in order to use that as part of the sign. That the rear of the building be re-stuccoed as described so that it's clean and new in appearance. That striping be provided at the rear of the building and at the front of the building for parking. That the drainage pipe system at the front of the building is to be removed and replaced with a new drain to the new roofing that you've described toward the rear of the building, therefore not visible from the public right-of-way. And that the sign that is indicated on these drawings is not approved, and that you've been made aware of what the sign requirements will be when you return with a sign. Have I missed anything?
Was there anything about the sign back a ways? There was something about, what did you say? Did you write it down?
Well, sign can't sit on the rooftop.
Before, yeah, what did you say about the sign?
The sign can, when the sign comes, it can be on the fascia,
Okay, that's it.
or it can be mounted on the brick wall.
Okay, did you say something about the size of the letters? You didn't say?
I think we were talking, you know, they're gonna be in the 10 to 12 inch
Okay,
range
just so,
for the
got it.
big
I just blanked out from, thank you.
Right, but that's really not part of it.
No, no.
Okay, the one note I have there is the existing canopy that comes out,
Yeah.
that will drain to the left side, okay, again, towards that alleyway, and
Mhm.
come right down along the column to
To the
tap in.
storm,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a stub up right now, right adjacent to the curb on that left-hand side, and we will be tying in the.
Can I see it on this photo?
Yes, right here.
Oh, that's where, okay, so the drain's gonna come right down
The
here.
drain from the canopy will come down
Right
here.
here and go into here.
You know, we sort of have no
Yep.
other choice. I can't exactly bring that back
No,
in.
that wouldn't look very good either. So
Can-
come,
The main roof, that will come in either to the back or an interior drain.
Can
Yeah.
that,
Okay.
just as a question, can that drain be concealed within the column?
No,
No.
because
how do you
that,
get it off the concrete?
that stub up there is actually in the the right-of-way. We're being, you know, in doing some work with the township previously, due to some water concerns on the inside of the building, we were permitted to put this in and then stub up at this point to allow reconnection of the canopy back into this
And
location.
what is the lateral drain or the vertical drain made out of? What is that consisting of?
That will end up being an aluminum downspout that comes down, and, you know, we'll paint it to match the column wrap.
Rectangular, held tight against the column
Correct.
kind of
Mhm.
thing, painted to match?
Yes, it'll
Okay.
disappear with the column.
That's part of the approval then as well.
Great. How's that sound?
Sounds good?
I second.
Any opposition?
I propose.
Let's go.
Thinking we're good.
All
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next applicant is DRB 10-23, Customers First Bank.
Hello.
I'm
Come on up, tell us who you are and what you want to do.
Dee Engstadt with Egan Sign. I am here to ask for approval to re-identify the building at 155 East Lancaster Avenue from New Century Bank to Customers First Bank. Okay. Okay. Does everybody have a copy of these drawings? Okay,
Yes.
the first sheet basically just shows an overview of what the site looks like right now. Second page is a site plan showing the size of the building, placement of the signs that we're proposing. And page 3 shows the removal of the New Century Bank sign to the Customers First Bank sign. We're proposing to remove the panel that says New Century Bank and do a 1-inch pan sign with 3/8-inch plate-mounted letters. And I did bring a sample of the letters with me. This is just a sample. I do have color samples as well.
It shows the letters in black. but-
It's not a black, it's actually a dark gray.
Okay.
I do have a color sample here that is Customers First Bank corporate colors.
So is that the color of the letter?
That
And
is
the
the
red
color of the letter. The red is on
first-
the logo.
Okay. Mhm.
What is the white that's shown, is that white like,
The white that's showing behind the
Yes,
letters, it's a
yes.
1-inch pan sign. If you look at the construction of the building, we will need to mount these letters to a panel to make them sturdy. And it'll be painted the white that'll match the building, so it'll basically blend in.
So you
with
think
the
it'll
building.
drop out? We won't notice that?
It will stand off. It's a 1-inch pan. These letters are 3/8 inch, so it will be a, a dimensional letter.
all right, so what looks like blue in the drawing and white in the drawing will actually be painted out to match?
To match the
Okay,
background,
all right.
correct.
It's sometimes hard to understand. with-
So what you'll see is a little shadow line around the box, around the, okay?
And if you look at page 5, it'll show you, how they're actually mounted. The aluminum frame, the aluminum pan sign will be mounted to the wall. And then the 3/8 inch aluminum letters will be mounted to that with,
What size here, the letter size is, well, is the height of the letters indicated on here?
the capital letters are 13.5 inches.
Mhm.
The logo itself is 30 inches.
Do you know offhand how high the New Century Bank letters are?
I would say they're pretty close in comparison. That is a 16, hold on one second. That existing wall sign is 16 and 3/16 inch high. So I would say those letters, our letters might even be a little smaller. We're gonna give a little more space around our letters than they have. on the
I'm sorry,
panel.
you said that existing wall space is
The
6?
existing wall sign for New Century is 16
Oh, that's
and
16,
3/16.
okay.
And Did you say what yours is in height?
13 and a half cap height.
I mean, the white mounted back panel.
The white mounted background is 16 and a half.
So it's roughly the same size.
Mhm.
Okay. And there's a
So the
sign on both
circle-
facades, similar to the New
Correct.
Century?
Correct.
Being a corner, you're allowed both exposures.
Yep. And then what, is there a picture of the back? Okay, so I see where the back is.
Yeah, the other work we're doing is replacing, if you look at page 6, it'll show that we're proposing to do the vinyl hours on one of those little pane windows. It just shows what time the bank's open.
Mm-hmm.
The back door, we would like to place Customers First Bank logo so you know that it is Customers First Bank location. And then there are some parking signs. There's a quantity of 4 parking signs that are existing. We're just going to replace the panels, same size.
We'd like also to see the address, which is, what, 155?
You know what, it's right here on
Is
that
it?
corner, it's just really hard to see
Yeah.
in the photograph.
I couldn't see
See
it.
to the left of,
Yeah, it's by the
Here.
door, right?
somewhere along there.
Oh.
It's vertical, the letters are stacked. Oh, I see, okay.
Well, the 155 should punch out in some way.
Do you want that on the building? Is that what you're asking me to do?
It's on the door, I don't
It's
know.
153 if I'm reading it
It looks like
correctly.
it looks like a 3, but is it?
Your
You can see it on
application.
page 6.
Yeah, it says 155 on the property address, but it looks like it says 150, is that a 3 on the door there? To the left of the door?
Oh, I see.
We should get the right address on there either way.
I think what I did was got this address from the township. That's what they told me was the address in the township. But I'll make notes to make sure that we have.
Confirm the correct address.
Confirm the correct
Mhm.
address. And you want me to do new letters, or are those acceptable?
Well, we like them to be visible because the post office likes it, and also the
It's
emergency,
more emergency.
fire, EMT, people like to know when there's a call where they're going.
But it's kind of subtle there, I know, but it is above the door, and we must have approved it for a New Century.
How
Bank.
about, is it right above, is it,
It's
Cindy, is
right-
it centered above the door?
No, I'm sorry, it's right to the left of the door, it's right.
Looks
Yeah,
like
but
big
if they-
letters.
I mean,
You
how
want
about
them
if
up
they-
there?
Yeah, how about if they centered it above the door?
I guess I just always think, now if you have to move the letters,
Well,
now
that
you gotta
little
go
face
repaint. What do you think, Michael?
I think it would
'Cause-
be easier and more visible, it'd be easier to read it and more visible if it were centered over the top of the door, but I don't know how that's constructed, whether they
Yeah.
would sit flush up there or not.
Well, I'm sure we could
Well, if you
do
could look-
something that, maybe a smaller pin-mounted letter that we could mount
Sure.
above the door.
That'd be great.
How about in that gray
Good.
material,
In that gray
Yes.
material?
in the
Mhm.
gray
That'd be nice.
color?
And you only need it on the Lancaster Avenue side.
Mhm.
If it was gray, it would certainly read more clearly.
That's true.
I guess we're there.
Sounds good.
Cindy, would you like to?
Yes.
Well, I'd also just like to make one observation
Yeah.
that
Okay,
the pictures that you brought in, which are not the bank that you're talking about,
okay.
they have signs that are not attached but are clearly in the window
Correct.
that appear to be taking up more than 20% of the window
Oh.
area.
I do know, and Matt and I have worked together on some temporary banners that we have put up.
Okay.
I will make mention to the bank that any signs that they place in the windows cannot exceed 20%.
Right.
Mhm.
Correct.
Okay.
That's in each discrete panel, not the entire area.
I'll make sure to pass that along.
The door vinyls, C on page 6, does that lobby hour sign fit on one of the divided lights in the door? How does that work?
It is just, you're seeing a gray background, and I actually did the artwork for this location, so I just put that gray background. It will strictly be white letters with the red logo. That gray background I just put there so you could see where we're placing it on the door. And yes, it will fit in one of those small panels.
Okay, I didn't even
Yeah.
notice that. All right, so it does fit in the
It fits in one
window,
panel.
okay.
And it is strictly white vinyl with the
Yeah.
red logo.
Okay.
So you're not gonna see that gray background. We're not doing a background color.
Right.
It'll just be window.
It's only
And
70
the same
inches
with the
by 70
back door as
inches.
well.
Yeah, I
Fits
just
right
wanted to
in,
make
that's
sure that it
nice.
fit. I didn't realize the panes were that big, that's, okay.
So,
Well, I will move
That's
that
good.
DRB 10-23 for Customers First Bank be approved as submitted with the stipulation that a relocated number sign be placed above the entry door on Lancaster Avenue in gray to match the bank colors, and that the bank be advised that no window signs be greater than 20% of the area of the window in question.
second.
Thank you.
So carried.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If you're the last applicant, I guess
Should we, anything else?
I guess this session's closed.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
my job.
Second.